So I'm from Melbourne in Australia. And apart from Australia and Japan, I've also lived in the UK, Canada, and Thailand. I've got a master's degree in linguistics from Australian National University, and I wrote my thesis on second language acquisition by adults. I focused on the case where the learner's second language is very different from their native tongue. My undergraduate major was mathematics, and I also did organic and bioorganic chemistry electives up to and including final year. In university, I started tutoring mathematics as my part-time job, and then I started tutoring English to international students. And then after I graduated, I wanted to see the world, so I came to Japan and started teaching English. Outside of teaching, I also have work experience as a web content writer, and I've also worked in a construction company office. People say that Melbourne has 4 seasons in one day because the weather's really random. Like, for example, in the morning, the temperature might be 45 degrees, and then 10 minutes later, it's 20 degrees. And even though the weather's sometimes really hot, the ocean's always really cold, so there are penguins in the ocean. I just graduated from university and I wanted to see the world. And I'd been tutoring English to international students, so I thought I'd keep doing that and achieve my dream by doing that. Then I lived in Japan, then I backpacked around the world, and then I came back to Japan, and then I went back to Australia to do my master's degree, and then I graduated and came back to Japan. I came back to Japan because everything's convenient and efficient here. Everything works. Before the pandemic, I was working at Shinjuku West and at Ikebukuro. Now that there's coronavirus in Tokyo, I'm online only. So you can study with me no matter where you are. Some of my students have gone from Tokyo to Hokkaido, or some of them have gone to Kyushu or Yamaguchi, and they're still taking my lesson online. Things, and I like travel. Maybe I like travel because I like learning things, and I also like snowboarding. Fun. Everyone from university students through to retirees, business people, housewives, doctors, nurses, professors, scientists, engineers, public servants, athletes, musicians, actors, artists, everyone. So start with beginners. Start off by asking you about yourself. So I want to know what kind of person you are, why do you want to learn English, and if you're a beginner and maybe you can't say that in English, that's fine. So you can tell me in Japanese and then I'll tell you how to say it in English. And we'll start from that. But I won't just teach you to say the sentences as one big block that you remember. I'll teach you all the grammar that you need to use to put that sentence together. And once you understand those rules, then you become able to express yourself in English in any situation, even if you never practiced phrases for that specific situation. So to teach that grammar, I don't use any textbooks or any fixed curriculum. I make example sentences that use that grammar, but they're connected to something that you're interested in. So every student might learn the same grammar, but they'll all have different example sentences that are about something that's relevant to them. And I also draw a lot of illustrations. Also, we can do pronunciation practice. And when we do that, I won't just say a word and I'll tell you to copy me. I'll break it down and I'll teach you to be conscious of how your tongues and your lips and your nose and your throat are moving while you're talking. I think that's really important. And then after each lesson, you'll get everything as a PDF. So you can review it on your PC or smartphone. And then I also keep a copy of those notes myself so we can use it to review next time. For more advanced students, then it's the same thing. Maybe they can already do basic things like tell me about themselves in English. So I'll try and find something that they want to talk about, but at the moment it's too challenging for them to talk about. I want to find a gap between what they want to be able to say in English and what they currently can say in English. And then once I found that gap, I'll teach them how to fill that gap. I'll teach them the words and the grammar and the phrases that they need to do that in the same way. First of all, if you're going to get language lessons, then one-to-one lessons are the worthwhile way to go. The reason for that is if there are other people in the class, then the teacher needs to divide their attention between every single student. So if you're in a group lesson, you might be in the classroom for 40 minutes, but if there are 4 students in the class, in reality, it's as if you're only getting a 10-minute lesson. Second advantage is that I think the best way for anyone to learn a language is to follow their own path. What I mean by that is different people find different things easy or difficult. Different people master different parts of a second language earlier or later than other people. Different people learn the same part of a second language more efficiently in different ways. So before I was saying that I would teach the same grammar to people but use different example sentences for each person. You can only do that depending on what the person's interested in. You can only do that in a one-to-one lesson. Now that I've explained the advantages of one-to-one lessons, which school is the best for one-to-one lessons? First of all, you need a school where the teachers specialize in one-to-one lessons. Some schools don't. Some schools teach both one-to-one lessons and group lessons. But the issue is that teachers need different skills to teach one-to-one lessons compared to group lessons. In a one-to-one lesson, the student can suddenly make any request or ask any question, and the teacher needs to be able to help them straight away. And to do that, the teacher needs to be flexible. But group lessons aren't like that. So, if a teacher spends most of their time teaching group classes, they'll never develop that flexibility. So it's best to have teachers who spend all their time teaching one-to-one, so they'll learn to be ready for whatever you need them to do. And within the schools that specialize in one-to-one teaching, you want a school that takes full advantage of the opportunities of one-to-one classes that I talked about before. So remember when I said that language learning is about following your own path? Unfortunately, that doesn't happen at some other one-to-one eikaiwas. Like at these places, doesn't matter what your individual needs are, they'll pressure you to spend money on the same textbooks as all the other students and spend your lesson time on the same activities that all the other students do. So in other words, they force everyone onto the same path. So maybe this style is better than group classes, but it's still one size fits all. However, at English Village, you can actually get customized lessons. And that's because everyone's free. Your teachers are free to give you the lesson style that works best for you, and you're free to choose teachers that are right for you. There's only so much I can explain about my lessons just by talking. If you'd like to find out more, please try one yourself. I'm looking forward to seeing you then. Thanks for watching.